Okay. Um, Tell me your name and a little bit about your military experience.
My name is Paul Cunningham Jr. I joined the Navy in 1981, December 2nd of 1981. I spent 4 years active duty on the USS Boone. I'm a plank owner of the USS Boone, which means I commissioned the ship in Seattle, Washington. As far as my military experience, wouldn't trade it for the world. Loved every minute of it. And I was stationed in Jacksonville, Florida, Mayport, on the USS Boone, FFG 28.
What was the hardest thing about your military experience?
The hardest thing for me was being away from my family. I was very close with my two sisters and my mother and father, and the hardest thing for me was being away from them.
Explain to me about the tanker war.
The tanker war was Iran and Iraq blowing up oil tankers and supply tankers that were going through the Straits of Hormuz into the Persian Gulf. And Iran would blow up any supplies coming to Iraq. Iraq would blow up any supplies coming to Iran. And we were assigned on the USS Boone to spend 9 months in the Persian Gulf escorting those tankers through the Straits of Hormuz and keeping them from being blown up by the Iranians and Iraqis. I was a quartermaster. I was a navigator and a master helmsman. That's what I did. I drove the ship whenever we had refueling at sea, special sea and anchor details. If we had a helicopter landing on the board, I would have to drive. Like I said, refueling at sea, when ships, we don't pull into a gas station and fill up. Another ship has to come beside us, and we refuel at sea, doing about 17 knots. So I would have to sit and steer the ship while that was going on. And then my navigational duties were 4-hour intervals, standing on the bridge, keeping track on a chart of where we were. Back then, we didn't have GPS and everything like you had now. Satellites and stuff. We were just getting into satellite navigation, but most of the time I used a sextant and navigated by the stars, or dead reckoning. It's older than way of navigation than they do now.
What did you fear most while you were serving in the Persian Gulf?
I could say I wasn't be afraid, but then I'd be lying. I don't know. I feared not getting home. I always felt safe. When I was away, I feared more for my family at home than I did for myself there.
Yeah.
So that's what I feared most about my whole military career in the Persian Gulf or wherever else I was, that something would happen to my family at home and not to me personally.
Mm-hmm. Were you awarded any medals or citations?
Yes, I was. I was awarded the Navy Achievement Medal for being a master helmsman. I do have that citation here, if you'd like me to read it.
Yeah.
He has executed his duties in a flawless manner, demonstrating thorough professionalism and coolness, even in the most tense situations. Whether it was piloting waters or alongside during a replenishment at sea, the ship depended on Petty Officer Cunningham to keep the ship on course and out of danger. His maturity and reliability gave all hands a sense of confidence and well-being. Petty Officer Cunningham's keen ability to maintain any ordered course virtually eliminated that factor in the conning officer's ship handling problem. We were awarded, I was awarded a Sea Service Ribbon, Meritorious Unit Commendation. I didn't spend all my time in the Persian Gulf. I was in the Caribbean, the North Atlantic, the Mediterranean, the Red Sea. Spent a lot of time in the Red Sea. Africa. I got to travel around a lot of places.
It must have been nice though.
Yeah, it was wonderful. It was.
How was your boot camp experience? Did you like make close friends?
I did. I did. Boot camp experience was shocking, but I did make close friends, and I have those. I have one good friend to this day, and that was from December 2nd of 1981. Him and I are still very close. Boot camp was like a culture shock. I mean, you no more had any rights. You just totally gave them away. They took control of you and told you when to eat, when to go to the bathroom, when to shower, when to sleep, when to wake up. And there's all a reason for that. Once you got out, though, they left you alone. And as long as you did your work and did your duties to your best ability, life was good. It was all good. It was all good. I would strongly encourage anyone to go and spend some time in the service, any service. It gave me, it teaches you respect, and it helps you throughout your whole life, for the remainder of your life. You never forget. You know, I'm 48 years old. That was 30 years ago.
Yeah.
And I still do the same things the same way I was taught in boot camp. And no, like you said, there's no regrets at all. I loved traveling. In the Navy, I got to go to Africa. I've been through the Panama Canal, the Suez Canal. I've seen the pyramids. I've seen. There is one thing I'd like to say. People like to say they like all these exotic and different places. There's no place like home. You know, I've seen Spain and Portugal and Africa, Italy, Sudan, and nothing compares to right here in the United States.